Sue in the building. You already know.
Spot shit.
Earl franchise, Tribeca, title friction. My son Jelani. You know.
Word up.
Out here. You know what I'm saying? Heavy hitters. Alright. Mount Vernon, Denzel Washington School of Performing Arts. Chosen One's debut. Hitting the stage. Everybody gonna know about us. If you don't know, you're gonna find out. Word.
Find out.
That's what I'm talking about.
Smigadellas.
Franchise swagged out.
On that.
You know what I'm saying?
Got my act together.
Alright.
I show my ass in my hometown.
That's
I know what it is.
You know what it is.
Look at me.
You know what it is. Look at him.
Size me up.
Look at him. DEF.
Where
DEF.
What
Boy,
happened?
talking this talk. You heard? We out here soon. You already know what it is. The king in the building. Holla.
Who want it?
Who want what?
Who want the smoke?
Chosen One. Y'all know what time it is. Those who don't know about to find out. Red, black, and green, revolutionary but gangster. You heard? Got the red, black, and green bandana on my head. Yeah, this is custom made. You heard?
Chosen Ones.
We bringing it.
DEF. You know, you already.
Title, come talk your shit,
Title
bro.
friction.
Nah, title friction. It's not time to talk. It's time to do.
All right.
About to do it. That's what we here. That's what we here for.
Sometimes you gotta be a warrior in the garden, but don't be a gardener in the war.
Word. I like that.
Do your thing.
The black samurai right here. Speak Japanese and all that.
Chill. You know,
Yeah, I seen it. I seen the video Easy Jafar.
Everybody try to do their little thing, you know.
He know more than Konnichiwa.
Your eyes, come on, man. Come get some light, yo.
Nah, he got the camera too, you know.
Got brother eyes. Yeah.
So we should do a rehearsal while paying attention to those numbers. You don't
Think they
need
gonna
to see.
What do you mean?
on that stage.
There's no. I'm not thinking. I'm knowing.
No, I'm
You know
saying,
what
I'm saying, do you think they're gonna let us in?
We don't have to let them in. We can find 5 spots out here while we listen to the what you call it, the Bluetooth. Yeah, we don't need that. We just know there's 5 spots.
Y'all trying to rehearse out here in the street?
What are we serious?
I thought that's why we were here. I thought we were going.
I thought we were serious.
I thought we were going inside.
We'll rehearse anywhere.
Miscommunication.
Yeah.
So we in the basement, right? So I think it's in the basement. Yeah.
I mean, eyes, you played nasty on it. That's why he's a super producer. You hear that? You know what I'm saying?
I know you scared. You ain't scared. Your eyes are showing off.
That's so nasty.
This is a Steinway, man. You gotta practice with it when you can. It's like a $10,000
young
You got
Beethoven.
3 to 2 hours before anybody. So anybody, folks are not here. There's a time for that. Let's get on stage.
When they're
Now we
ready,
gotta get
I'm
the
gonna.
mics. We gotta get the
Yeah, we
mics.
can't do nothing right now. I see a Steinway.
LG shit. Kids is a gift. Your jump shot is lit. My energy. God lives in heaven. Yo, with every breath. I'm a spark fire, saw the dust of my martyrs. King and Malcolm made me dream, spread my wings like a falcon. Falcon watch, I'm looking down from a mountaintop. Arms crossed, the sensible, feeling invincible. Ain't shape, living by principle. My respect gonna be legendary. I'ma take it by any means necessary. Huey P mentality, moms and pops, Panthers facts, that's my reality. Body swinging from trees in my mind's gallery. How could I forget that? Or better yet, forgive that. Yo, I'm about that get back. Stay tuned, they assume we lost focus. Like we ain't noticed, they tried to wipe us out with COVID. Hate me for my melanin and my intelligence, all types of treachery. Always fit the description, police keep sketching me. But my tech could be a different type of weaponry. Descended of Ethiopians and Egyptians. I've been scientific and been written. This is hieroglyphics. They too basic to keep you trapped in a matrix. Men of vision. My activism is an unstoppable cataclysm. He's a fast learner.
Good to see the devil they going, they still dividing us. College, but you never had a real W quota. They showing no respect to be known, cause it's over. They still the soul when they inject you with COVID. I'm the closest thing to the truth. They came to the moment. If I'm smiling, that's camouflage. So don't think that I'm over the problems are cheap. Like 40 pounds dollars a week. Drama, could cook your life, but knowledge is free. Standing on business, activist, scholarly me. A man with a vision, a heart, a loop, a man with a dream. But can't be a nigga, why you have to get in the sea? You do like Donnie, but niggas, you don't fit in the sheep. We talk about freedom, we need it like the energy. Let's talk about freedom, speaking to the fans that I need. I can't believe, my body's swimming in the trees. What do you believe?
Hello? Thinking like your spiritual electrons, your God body hitting out. Like before I give you
I'm not that advanced.
Okay.
Aggregate.
Okay, like the sum of all the energies that you have together. Is the sum of all the energies that you have together.
I knew by the context of what you used. It was $1 million words. So I had to
you know what I'm saying? So at the point now, like
word flexing right now. I'm about to go about the thesaurus.
Our lyrics is right. Feel a little comfortable. Just glow. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Like, how did you know we could even process that word?
Because there's no time. It has to.
Take from the last dragon with the hat over here. You got the
Whether you get it or not, I hope you do. If not, it's like
do it anyway.
I got you, King. I got you. Aggregate. I might have to steal that for my next rhyme. You know what I'm saying? You know I like words. I might have to snatch that one up.
Come on, they gon' release the sprinkle in the Louis Huey P doing his own inside. Malcolm X plus Nat Turner. Keep it going handy. Hope it's a fast runner. Bad playing notes and fuse with lazy views. Still paying my dues as well. I'm in the shoes. Still, how I fuse the blues. I'm on with a grip. Mix and drip. Hard of a fight with the tongue of a pen. Full time, no tech. Moving on the low. You can miss me with all that. Name on a play. My mind on my people is on my mind. I was gonna put a look for that digging on the side. The microphone thing, people that needs a line. The purpose is divine to my grind. That's why I said I got to make grind when I rhyme. Feel through pain, feel through the flame. No one's protecting the name, never did it for the fame. He got game, called his own lane. No one finna leave another lane. I'm like scared when it drop. Then I rise to the top. I'm that way of work, kicking hard and wise high. Get to the block, I think it's time to ride. Step on the step, I give it everything I got.
Left-handed, that's why he's left-handed.
Like
A school named after Brother Denzel Washington.
Funny thing, it used to be Washington High School, but he took it over, almost like you took over the slave master. I mean, that's just an observation. Yeah. It always was Washington, it never changed.
It was George Washington. Used to be George Washington High School.
Well, I went to elementary school.
It was George Washington. It was school of hard knocks for me.
So Washington.
School of hard knocks for me.
So
That's it.
every place I found out every place that George Washington lived
From the same Mount, which was used to be George Washington.
So
Until they turned it into this.
I was
School
born
of
in
Arts.
Virginia.
That's
It
it.
is a Mount Vernon, Virginia.
That's a fact.
And he lived there as well. So when I finally migrated here, it's funny to see that. So I think the ancestors put us here for a reason, so I want to serve a purpose. And when we want to build a community center that's going to service the city and be able to be the epicenter of the next movements is going to be able to have us take care of our own. So I wanted to be self-sustaining, and we have our own programming and everything from top to bottom. So the mayor's behind it as well, and being with my track record that's been going through Rikers Island. I had the classes on Rikers Island for 5 years. I did classes on every youth detention center in just about in New York State, northern New York State. But and none of my classes never once have I ever had an issue or a fight or nothing. And everything in my class is a weapon. I teach you barbering. I use barbering to have difficult conversation. I use the barber because the clippers put them to sleep. It's something about that buzzing that you know since you were born. There's nobody that's ever been born and haven't been in a barbershop, any man. So we use that, and I take that, and then we start talking about life. We teach life lessons. We talk about how to court women, how to protect women. What's the things about it? Even how to tie. So we just go through everything. And I bring my players. I coach football out here. Been doing it for 15 years.
Razorbacks. Where they jacket at?
I started the Razorbacks. Started the Razorbacks. That's it. Razorbacks. You know what I said? That's it. It's my town.
But
in my town lit.
I found a way with the transferable skills, showing cats on the street, that's from the street, and cats that play for a team sport, how to take their skills and relate it to life. Because any Fortune 500 company that wants to take in an intern, he's doing the same thing that a kid is doing in the corner while he's watching a block. But his life is on the line. See, while he's watching the person trying to rob him, and he's trying to watch he just know how to give out a pack, how much he's supposed to get back, how much, and he's watching before his own men trying to snake him. Then he got the police is trying to lock him up. At the same time, he just did inventory. He just did he just did payroll. He just did multitasking with his life on the line. So we can take them and put them and show them how they can put that into a corporate structure, and then take the field with a team player and implement the element of being a selfish approach of being selfless. We put that in a melting pot. They can take over any structure or create any structure when given the opportunity. They're not told that. So they had the skills already, but then we just doing the wrong thing with the skills. The Warriors got the passion, but they shoot at each other, but they don't not protecting each other. If we show them what the real thing is to shoot at, or to how to police your own, and where their energy's going, they're just rebels without a cause. So we're trying to take these different standpoints that I've been watching, and really be able to put these things into a sandwich, and show other people in different municipalities. I don't care if it's Chicago, if it's Cali, and
I got nothing but love for you.
Want to show them how we do it here.
That's it. I got nothing but love for you.
It is the funniest thing.
I got nothing but love for you. That's it.
The funniest thing
this is our town. I got nothing but love for you.
We're doing.
And that's where we at with it.
We're doing the Nothing But Love Day.
That's it. Nothing but love.
So we're doing the Nothing
But Love. And we outside with it.
I'm teaming up with Snug.
That's it.
There and we sat down and had beautiful conversations with Snug about this Nothing But Love Day. So there was a love day that's been going around for all the 5 boroughs. And we've been doing things for free, like giving free haircuts. My wife, she does the free hairstyles for the women. We give them free free mentorship. Also for the student athletes, they get free
guidance.
Not just guidance, but they get the guidance center gives them free tutoring.
Nice.
So they've been sponsored by Amazon. So we got to the point where now we're really putting it together and bringing it with the resources. You know what they're doing? It's absolutely great. So we putting these things together, we're gonna be able to, from this 4 square miles, create a template that can take over any, be self-sustaining in any neighborhood that's urban, that's where there's the same disenfranchisement, because you turn it into our power.
Well, that's beautiful.
So I just said,
on so many different levels.
Yes.
You got a spiritual level, you got a moral level, you got a political level, you got an economic level, you got a social level.
Energy.
Dr. West, how do you feel about like the economic level right now?
Well, that's one thing.
Like, what path do you think that we're headed, especially with Donald Trump's tariffs and everything? Like, what do you think is gonna happen? I'm a slight bit worried.
No, I tell you, brother, because I mean, the gangsters on the loose. They've been on the loose for a long time. They really on the loose now. But it means that we had to be in a situation in which we were able to create and sustain institutions and infrastructures. And the only way you do that is to make sure you cultivate the right kind of spirit, so you got the right kind of trust, so that the trust can sustain the relationships. That's the basis of the institution.
Yeah.
Because the institutions that's coming at us now, that we've often been more dependent on, Trump's cutting all that out.
All the resources is done.
So they bring
We the resources. We the resources.
So Dr. West, if they
see
bring manufacturing
we the
back to the
resources.
United States,
Ain't nothing else to be staying. It's a done deal.
companies,
It's a done deal. You gotta take care of them
maybe
babies.
it could be like
We the start.
either
That's
computer
it.
parts or
We the
lithium
start.
mining. Like,
That's
if you
right.
think that if they bring that back to the United States, how long would it take before we, like, is there gonna be some type of economic backlash? Like, are we gonna be facing like inflation? Like runaway inflation,
Well,
galloping inflation?
Everybody gonna be facing inflation, but what our dear brother's talking about right here is making sure that we as a people are equipped enough, spiritually, culturally, and socially, so that we can come together strong enough to have a significant slice of the new manufacture, of the new chips, of the new digital developments and so forth. Because you know, we're living in a time where you got just organized greed and weaponized hatred on steroids.
Money, power, and respect.
They on steroids.
Key to life.
Money, power, and respect.
Key to life.
That's it.
White supremacist slavery.
You're ready.
Another 100 years of neo-slavery, the Jim Crow, Jane Crow. But this is more than a major backlash. I mean, this is fascist expansion. And they targeting the most vulnerable.
But that's
and white supremacy is always a public face in this country. In this country. So what you're talking about is our creative response to it. So that we don't get undermined, our spirits don't get dampened, and people don't get scared. You see right now,
Everybody's scared.
Everybody's
scared.
But I would like you to meet the choir.
Oh, sure.
All right, so
From the school itself?
Yeah.
Bless.
Oh, Lord. We're going to make the choir, y'all.
Thank you, kid.
Bring some help with what we're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but now I'm checking in.
This piece is a real important piece. It's called The Belly Speaks, so I want you to open up your minds and open up your heart because this is a real deep, important piece, and I just want y'all to listen. I came into existence to strategically confine mankind. My authoritarian characteristic is how to control your mind by design. I'm a holding state of confinement, especially for so-called criminals. It's what I am. To tell you the truth, I swallow and digest any human being, good or bad, because I just don't give a damn. My large intestines are units and housing blocks. My small intestines are cubicles and cells. I'm the next best thing you experience that's close, parallel, or equivalent to hell. My skin is made up of razor wires, bricks, mortar, iron, and steel. I'm the epitome of incarceration, the quintessential of locking things down. Yeah, for real. I keep you bound, restricted, limited, in any shape, form, or fashion as possible. Anything that got to do with breaking your spirit, I encourage it and make it logical. I'm an internal world contrary to the external world of life and what it could and should be. I'm a catalyst built to destroy any hope, wish, or concept you have of being free. And my God? Oh my God! It's the government. They bless me with the essential tools I need. Through politics and frivolous laws in this judicial system, so therefore I will, and I mean I will, always succeed. I specialize in justice, divide and conquer. I birth to the masses. You can't figure me out, so don't try to understand, because there's no formula or method to my madness. Competition is none. I gotta say that again. Competition is none. On earth, I'm the best who did. Inside my body is full of memories of one's life and how they used to live it. I pull the invisible strings to your emotions. I play a type of psychological games on your brain. My undeniable negative energy will marinate deep in your soul to drive you insane. I'm the inevitable besides death. When you so-called thugs, seek fortune and fame. Oops, forgive me for being rude, even though you know me. It's only right. I tell you my name. What's your name? They call me prison, jail, the joint, the bin, the big house, the devil's den. But my favorite of all is the belly of the beast. My henchmen and workers is the COs, POs, lawyers, prosecutors, judges, snitches, and the police. They help to soothe my hunger, keeping me healthy, full, by providing me food, which is you. So listen up closely as I brag and boast about the miraculous things I can do. What's that? I transform heterosexuals into homosexuals, making men lovers of men. I corrupt and separate all religions, causing the most faithful sin to submit to sin. I make best friends become enemies. I turn love to hate. I convert young into old. I make you fools pay dearly for your every mistake. Ah, yes. I create stress, set up traps and pitfalls to capture the so-called best. I give you sicknesses and diseases that plague your thoughts until it manifests. Where? In the flesh. I break up families, houses, and homes. I can make you flip from a single sound of a dial tone. I'm beyond bad to the bone. I take misery, multiply it by torture, then add it up with the realms of being alone. I execute well. I can make you beg, pray, cry, scream, and yell. I can take a promising entertainer, athlete, or anyone with a so-called future. Just ask P. Diddy and cause them to dramatically fail. I make you lust and fiend over pictures in magazines and what you see on TV screens. I can subtract the cream, dip the gleam, shatter your dreams and do it mean. Yeah, to the extreme. I morph opportunities into no chance. I turn cash into fish or scams, giants into ants, kings into peasants. Yes. All at the same damn time. I change a lot of guts into little balls, large into I don't know how small, restaurants into town halls, VIPs into mainline. But guess what? I ain't done yet. I can make calm individuals get nervous and break out in cold sweats. I can make you not follow your heart and live in regret and really believe I'm as good as it gets. I'll break, snap, crush, and crumble the strongest men, and I mean the strongest of men, and make them all soft and weak. Y'all didn't know? I'm the ultimate bully. People fear me before they even see me or hear me speak. So call me the master, because I always enslave those who come into contact with my presence. Yeah, that's right. I'm big business, baby. I capitalize off your hard work and labor while stealing the identity of your essence. I'm immortal, eternal, continuous, everlasting, perpetual. Other words, I am here forever. Forever. I'm the reason why I left you for someone better, and wrote you that dear John letter. And nobody's more popular than me. Nobody. I'm international. My reputation is worldwide. I've been patient. You want to know my purpose? My purpose is to extinct the black and brown race. That's why I'm practicing genocide. In society, they are considered to be the least, the lowest, the minority. But that's not the case with me, because I consume them the most. Inside me, they are the majority. And that's my time, y'all. The bell speaks. If these walls can speak, that's what it says. Thank you so much, and y'all been great. Thank you.
Turn it up.
Just a little of my testimony.
Turn it up.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. I lost some demons along the way. Times are hard, but at least I know of a bright day. I press, it's all forward thinking. Unity within the culture come together like we're supposed to. We know these people vultures, yet we become their prey. Voluntarily being blind to what's above us. We can disguise love. We must respect and don't dare to flex. See, it's simple. So I'm popping it like a pimple. I need to stay in misery, not what you been like. Listen, you don't need that wall, cause if it's we, us, and our things, we don't fall, and that's bad. I get so tired, feeling like I'm sinking. Time to make a change, start with my thinking,
Start with this.
I got my head on straight, no more, but still seeking. Ain't no more fear, it's our time, yeah.
Ain't nothing impossible with God put his hands on it. So be sure, whatever you do, you put God and his plans on it. His word is my anchor. I can stand on it. Fist held high, right hand on it. Plan on it, yup. I plan on it. Some started a plan, but then they ran on it. But I don't plan on it. I'm way too solid. I got more ambition in my eyelid. Pray after pray, and now look what God did. The devil can't stop it. Gotta give you the picture and crop it. These ain't just words when I talk. A whole nother walk when I walk. Heavy every thought, footprints in the sidewalk. You know on the sideways when God talk. You ain't dead yet when the God walk. Get a home of a light when I bark. See the light when I roll in the dark. Build that light off a lonely spark. Only God knows my lonely heart. If I do it, you can do it. Lord knows, let's see you do it. Just take the first steps and get to it. You ain't gotta touch that how to move it. You ain't gotta touch it. We're moving for you. Yeah.
It gets hard, but
come on, baby, let them know.
I get so tired, feeling like I'm sinking.
You're tired of keep going.
With my thinking.
Yeah.
I got my head on straight, no more.
That's right.
Speaking, ain't no more fear. It's our time.
It's our time, baby.
Yeah. Dear God, can you talk for a minute? Thank you, I got some plans, and I know that you're winning. Baby girl, even big, she's so healthy and strong. I look at her and I see you, she can do no wrong. Yeah, I remember when I lost my way. Then you redirected me to make sure I stay prayed up. But guess what? No ifs, ands, or buts. I know that you're able to God, I can trust in us. Well, that's been under the bus. And my hubby made me happy. I'm so glad that he the happy. Waited oh so long, now it's finally here. About to make some new shake, this will be my year.
That's right.
That's fact. Waited oh so long, now I'm finally here. About to make some new shake, this will be our year. That's facts.
That's facts.
That's facts. I get so tired, feeling like I'm sinking. Time
You're
to
tired
make
of my
a
word, you give it to God, you hear me?
Am I thinking?
You're hailing for you.
I got my head on straight, no more.
Yeah.
Ain't no more fear.
Come on. Let him have it.
Yeah. No fear, ain't nothing. It's my year. Got time, ain't our time. But it's our time. And if you get what I'm saying, yeah. Oh. It's our time to know, yeah.
It's our time.
It's our time to know, yeah.
It's our time, black people, stand up. Come together, do what we gotta do. As long as we put God first, can't nobody stop us.
Change your mind, change your life. Remember that. Let's give it up for Black Freedom, guys. As we make it to the stage.
Y'all killed it.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brother Derek Dice Stills Livingston.
Yeah, Dice.
Everybody's having a good time tonight? Yes, sir. Yes, man. Okay. I thank everybody for coming out today. Like I said, my name is Derek Dice Livingston. Derek Livingston. They call me Dice. I stand here before you today as a man who has worn many, many hats in my life. Right now, I work for the city of Mount Vernon. I own a barbershop, I wrote a book, and I've won several awards for Best Animated Film, not just in the US, but all over in European countries, in Germany, Canada, Berlin, and Brooklyn. Yes, Brooklyn. Yeah, but before any of that, I spent half of my life in prison. No applause for that. Now, I don't say that for the shock value. I just want you to understand something important. Where you start doesn't determine where you finish. Because life is about choices. Some we make in a split second, and they change everything. 6 seconds could change your whole life. Others we make in a day, choosing to push forward, stay disciplined, and to believe in something bigger than our circumstances. When I was younger, I made choices that led me down the wrong path. And I paid for them dearly. But here's what I learned. No matter how far down the wrong road you go, you always have the power to turn around. For the young people in this room, every decision you make today shapes your future. So choose wisely. For the adults, you are never too old to rewrite your story. So I want to show you the film that we won the awards for. You can roll it. There's no sound. No sound. You don't have a sound?
Someone from spending the most productive years of their life in prison like I did. December 10th, 12:45 p.m. 4 days ago, I celebrated my 10th year of imprisonment. That is, if celebrating is the right word. And 2 days ago, I celebrated my 40th birthday, the big 4-0. Can't believe that I'm 40 years old. Time surely does not wait for anyone. It's always hard for me around this time of year because I don't have my dad anymore. A lot of thoughts circle my mind that I try not to entertain. I need to have a child of my flesh and blood. People say you can adopt or your wife has kids, but it's just so different. I want to have a little dicey like his mom, maybe a cute little girl. I would call her Derek or July. And God willing, that day will come before my mother leaves this existence. I've never met my mother's dad or my dad's dad. I was told that my mother's father held me when I was an infant. Of course, I don't remember that, but hopefully things will get better, I'm sure of it. My good news is coming. God willing. We all come from different family structures and backgrounds. Some of us come from families in desperate need of repair. I remember when we lived in New York City housing project. 6 of us sharing a 3-bedroom apartment. The building that we lived in was tall and maze-like, and I played in the hallways and stairwells, completely unaware of the dangers that surrounded them. My parents, however, were very aware of our surroundings, and they worked diligently to relocate our family, saving and sacrificing. My parents purchased a house that I would call home in the city of Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon wasn't anything like the projects. There were a lot of houses that had front and backyards. We had ants and centipedes instead of roaches. April 26, 2016, 5:50 a.m. Earlier today, I received my parole decision. I was looking forward to this day for 16 years. It hurts, man. It hurts like a motherfucker. Expecting to go home and finding out that you gotta stay for another 18 months, 24 months. It's 15 years, man. Who can handle that? And right now, I feel empty and full. Man, I feel like holding on and giving up, let down and reassured. I'm responsible, confused, and I feel like a good guy and a crook at the same time. I'm lost, but I know where I'm at. I want to cry right now, but I bet my tears will burn my cheeks. How do I feel? I feel like saying, fuck this shit. Fuck all this shit. I feel like running from and into with my fuck this shit attitude, breaking, fighting, bones, shattering teeth with my feet. But I'm not that type of person. It just hurt deep right now. Why the fuck isn't anyone worried about how I feel? Or how anyone feels that's going through what I'm feeling? I have to handle this shit. I will. I leave you today with my parole decision. And this. Dice, I love you. No matter what. You're not the guy that they say you are. They don't even know you. In fact, Dice, fuck them. Because they don't know who you are.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm pressed for time, but I just want to say that prison wasn't just doing time for me, it was a test. And for a long time, I kept failing it. I was always in trouble, always getting caught up in something. And the more trouble I got into, the more I felt like there was no way out. I felt like I was trapped in a cycle, like I was circling a drain, like I was toilet water. Then one day, I picked up a pen and I started writing. And my mother sent me a journal and she said, you know, she was tired of coming to see me in those 24-hour lockdown jails. She said, Dice, keep track of your thoughts, keep track of your movements. She bought me a journal. This is the journal. I started writing this journal in 2007 and wrote all the way to 2014. And this was, the film you just saw was based off of the writings in this book. So I started journaling, just writing down my thoughts, my frustrations, my dreams, my pain at first. It was like just to pass the time. But then it became deeper, it became my escape, it became my therapy, it became my way of understanding myself. This journal that I wrote in became my map. You know, when I read this journal, it was like the dot on the map that said, you are here. I thought I was going to New York, but my actions was taking me to California. I was lost. So I journaled for over 7 years, and what started as scribbles in the notebook eventually became the foundation of this animation. And that's the power of journaling, and I encourage everybody to do so. A lot of us, especially men, are taught to hold everything in, to act tough, to never show weakness. But let me tell you, real men, real strength is not in silence. It's in self-awareness. So writing saved me. This book, this journal saved me. It gave me clarity. It helped me turn my pain into purpose. And I encourage every one of you to try it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to make sense. But when you put your thoughts on paper, you take control of them instead of them letting take control of you. I never imagined that I'd be here telling my story or winning awards or running a business, but at some point I realized I wasn't put on this earth just to exist. I was meant to create, build, inspire, do all the things that I'm supposed to do. I had a purpose, so I worked. I turned my journals into animation. I turned my experiences into lessons, and I put my pain into the craft, and I outworked every obstacle in my way. And for those of you that's chasing your dream right now, understand this. Talent means nothing without discipline, execution. Your dream will not work unless you do. You have to do. So, like I said, I own a barbershop, but it's more than just a place to get a haircut. It's a place where conversations happen, where young men come in as boys and leave as kings, where wisdom is passed down like it used to be. I work for the city of Mount Vernon because I believe in my community. I believe in second chances and fresh starts and creating opportunities for the next generation so they don't have to go through the stuff I went through. Success means nothing if you're not lifting others up with you. My final message is, if you remember one thing from this speech, let it be this. Your past chapter is not the whole story. You have a pen in your hand, so write down a life you deserve. Thank you very much.
They haven't even got integration right here in New York City. You have worse integration problems in the north than they have in the south. So if it doesn't work, then if you can't bring about integration in New York City, you'll never get integration anywhere else in the country.
Like a mountain top. And I'll be quoted, if niggas they go and they still divided us, you cry, you wish you never had voted, cause you were quote, they no respect and you know it, cause it's over. So when they inject you with gold, I'm the closest thing to them. The king for the moment, there's no smiling, that's camouflage, so don't think that I'm open. Problems are cheap, like 40-ounce bottles, and we drama could cost your life, bro, but knowledge is free. Standing on wisdom, not the ride with me, and that visit a man, the ball with the dream, a champion nigga. Why they have to dare me to speak? They do you like the minute you don't pay your regime. I'm talking about freedom, yeah, like the air that you breathe. Talking about freedom, like the man that I lead. I can't believe body swaying up the street, and you put this shit in the lead.
I'm off this glory, BTI, sprinkling a little.
Huey P. Newton on the top, plus Nat Turner, Hope's a fast learner, infused with Langston Hughes. It's real up in these shoes. I refuse to lose with a grip, minute, with the tongue of a pen. No check,
moving on the low, you can miss it with all that.
Name on the print, my people is on my mind.
I was gonna put a look, but I
didn't waste your time. Wouldn't waste a line. Divine to my rhyme. I was prime when I rhyme. You dog the flame. Never did it for the fame.
He got game.
Carving his own lane. Not a lane. When you drop,
That's the rise to the top. Getting harder while it's hot. Shot through the wide. Everything I got. OG shit. Everything we give these kids is a gift. Jump shot is lit. Showing no potential while we live in the mix. Politicians ain't the source of my energy. Word of mine, yo, I know this is God. To the heavens. Speak moving, we got what I was saying. It is around the eyes of the beholder. Absent. People jam out the task. Absent. Drunk off my bandwidth. Together thoughts for my dreams like a sandwich. Discipline give me space to an accident. Moving forward, I can't afford a loss. My future will absorb the cost. Let's focus, be my soul born like the Middle East. Too bad, I feel like nothing can deliver. One of the things I find challenging is time managing. Juggling 2 gigs, preoccupied, my mind scattered. Listening to these rhymes, rambling, but nines like the glamour. Got me feeling like Sunshine Edison, more like the city fest in Ramington. Plus I'm petting Murphy and broke my dude down to get dirty like I'm reppin' Jersey. Stay with my kick and knocked on your ass, roller dirty. You front on me, I'm like heavy B. You don't deserve me. That's for the foes who try to hurt me and the hoes who curb me. Sweet revenge will come smelling my roses early. Never sold drugs in my life. Ironically, the cougars couldn't get enough of it. All in the past, but the been boot up like LFA. Quality time, be a bomb, playing getaways. The balance rescue days, massages and negligee. These for hopping in the hood and the risk of catching strays. While you kids are running up them views, talking shit. I'm impacted live to the less fortunate. Put a cork in it, y'all got me so gone with this digital nonsense. And just about everything on me but lyrical content. I would keep coming close to y'all, see my armpits. Watching myself a lot of dreams, my mission accomplished, yes. But for now, I protect my sanity from trauma. My heart goes out to all the families in God. Chosen one, free your mind. Free your mind. Free your mind, you check yourself. Chosen one.
Let's give it up again for the chosen ones. Now we bring to
my voice is good enough. Y'all know that Dr. West is family. So through the years it's been hard, but it's been a lesson. So when the Lord opened the door and gave me the vision of men with the vision, it's important that we have a vision. And those that had a vision like Dr. West, people think it was an instant gratification for him to become a Dr. West. They don't know the real story and the scars and the heartache it took for him to get where he is today, and that he is a major inspiration to the nation. So I'm here to introduce the Dr. CORNEL West.
We in consecrated space, Denzel Washington School of the Arts. We have heard magnificent voices. Let's give it up for this stage. Give it up for this stage. Brother Pete, he's very much responsible for bringing all of us together. We talked about this for almost, what, 2 years, my brother?
Yes, 2 years.
Lord Almighty, with Brother Mark. And I do want to dedicate my remarks to Alfred Arnold, Brother Mark's father just passed just a few weeks ago. We shall never, ever forget him. His brother, wife, Lisa is here as well.
Right-hand man.
Absolutely. It is nothing but love. Nothing but love, as the brothers tell me. Nothing but love here in Mount Vernon.
Yes.
Oh,
and we are here to stay.
And I also want to salute, of course, the visionary, courageous leader. I have never heard a principal singing like that in my life. Thomas and our vice principal are there, Sister Mom, right? Let's give it up for both of them. I don't know where they are, but they're doing a magnificent work and they're focusing on the precious and priceless young folk who passed through this space. And I don't know about you, but I know that I am who I am because somebody loved me. Somebody cared for me. Somebody deeply sacrificed for me. when I had a chance to meet my magnificent brothers out here, the artists, the hip hop artists, and so forth.
Chosen
But all of them, Chosen, and that wonderful duo with the beautiful baby on the way. I thought of the anthem of a great black people, which is to lift every voice, not lift every echo. There's a qualitative difference between a voice and an echo. In this school is about shifting echoes into voices, because you can't be a human being at the deepest level of who you ought to be. You can't be a jazz woman or a blues man without finding your voice. And the voice has everything to do with the discipline, with the vision, with the creativity, but it has everything to do with deep love and courage. And they go hand in hand. There has never been a people in the modern world who has been hated so chronically, 400 years, every day, every week, every year, than black people. And yet we've taught the world so much about love. How do you account? How do we account? How can anybody account for that shift? The degradation, the demeaning, told me less beautiful, less intelligent, less moral. And yet here comes John Coltrane's Love Supreme. Here comes Toni Morrison's Beloved. Here comes James Baldwin's Love So Essays, the genius of all. Harlem's a kissing cousin, the chocolate side of Mount Vernon. Here comes Stevie Wonder, Love in Need of Love. We heard him the other night. I was singing to one and only Roberta Flack's funeral. Here comes the love train of the OJ. We could go on and on and on. And when my dear sister sang Richard Smallwood's magnificent total praise, I hope you can feel the armor combating any form of hatred and degradation and being demeaned and responding with the highest level of spiritual greatness. That's what distinguishes the best of black people in the modern world. That's why our music saturates every nook and cranny in every corner of the globe. Because the question is, how could it be that these people, in the face of this overwhelming terror, generate such love and freedom in the face of that terror? How could it be that these people, for 400 years so traumatized, produce so much wounded healing? How could it be that a great black people, wrestling with unfathomable depths of sorrow, generates so much joy? And I said joy, I didn't say pleasure. Everybody knows we live in a highly gangsterized society, starting from high places, the spiritual wickedness in high places. And it generates every kind of possible pleasure in the world. You can almost define American culture as a quest for insatiable pleasure, but still can't find no joy. Right. Because joy cuts so much deeper than pleasure. Pleasure is all about that superficial titillation and stimulation. Ain't nothing but a distraction and an addiction. But joy, oh, we heard some joy tonight, didn't we? Starting with the choir, then the chorale, then the artists, and then the whole Brother Dice. We were at Brother Dice's place today, wasn't it? Yeah. Fleetwood.
That's right.
Oh, we had a good time. We met some magnificent brothers and sisters in there too. And I felt joy. It wasn't about superficial pleasure. And one of the reasons we find ourselves in the dim and grim situation
is that too many of us have been tempted by the superficial things and not willing to courageously engage in the more profound things of love and freedom and healing and joy. And that's why we're dealing with levels of warfare. Brother Malcolm X's last speech that he gave in Rochester, New York, February 16, 1965, just a few days before he was shot down in Autumn Room. He said, we black folk are dealing with multi-dimensional wars coming at us. Spiritual wars, political wars, economic wars, social wars. Coming out of this 6th chapter of Ephesians, if we don't put on the whole armor, then we're going under. That's what it is to live in such dim and grim days. I met my brother. How many years is it? Almost 20 years now, brother. Was that the radio station? Lord, Lord, Lord. And you look the same. You haven't aged. Lord have mercy. I'm telling you, I got no grade and I hate to have to say it. But I'm forever fortified. And when you get fortified, you got a love, you got a freedom, you got a healing, and you got a joy that the world didn't give you and the world can't take away. And that makes you, in many ways, a very dangerous person. Because can't nobody dictate to you. Can't nobody put a noose around your neck. You're not on anybody's plantation. Because when you're free, you have a radical freedom and love. When you love, you have a radical love and freedom. And I got my love from Irene B. West, my mama. She passed now, but she's forever in my soul on the other side of the Jordan. She had a deep commitment. People, chocolate people, teacher, educated. There's a school named after her on the chocolate side of Sacramento where I grew up. Or Irene B. West, elementary school. With her beautiful face. I'll never be one half of the human being she was. Or my father will never be one half of the human being he was, Clifton West. Or my brother Clifton, the Cynthia Sheriff. I haven't even got to my pastor, Reverend Willie P. Cook from Brookhaven, Mississippi, who baptized me when I was 7 years old, and I decided to make Jesus my choice, and I'm going to be faithful unto death. That makes you free, rooted in love. And that has been so often, in so many ways, the history of black people. Let us never, ever forget when Henry Highland Garnett stood in 1843, right up in Buffalo, the Negro Convention. And he told a crowd that included Frederick Douglass and Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman, he said, let us never confuse the situation of black people with the Israelites of the Old Testament. For black people, Pharaoh is on both sides of the bloody Red Seas. Sojourner looked at Frederick Douglass and said, is God dead, Fred? And you can imagine somebody in the last row said, could somebody please sing a song? We need some music. It's no accident that the greatest tradition of the modern world is black music. Levels of creativity and genius. Levels of unbelievable courage and willingness to dig deep inside the dark corners of our own souls and transfigure whatever sorrow, whatever oppression into a sound that touches everybody at their deepest level. There is no other tradition that can fuse that kind of artistic creativity and genius and courage spiritual fortitude and style with a smile.
That's right.
Because your music gotta have a little humor in it, even if you can't detect it. Richard Pryor and Moms Mabley ain't no joke. They're part of the same tradition. Part of our challenge. That's why this school is so crucial. Is that if we can't pass on this great tradition to our young people, then we lose the best, not just of black people, not just of the United States, of the world. Because we come out of conditions of catastrophe. There's never been a race problem in America. There's been catastrophes visited upon black people. Never confuse the catastrophic with the problematic. If you shift from catastrophe to problem, you've already deodorized the funk.
Let them know.
And you can't deal with the funk unless you deal with the truth, unless you deal with the love, unless you deal with the freedom, and therefore catastrophe is different than a problem. A problem is something you have a little superficial management over and try to assimilate these people into a mainstream. But a catastrophe is you're going to have to turn your world upside down because the way in which you have tried to dehumanize these people, vilify these people, demonize these people, hate these people, you're going to have to change something in a grand way for black freedom and black love and black joy to be central, to be fundamental. And that's a struggle for each and every one of us on the battlefield of our own souls. Because black people, we have too much white supremacy inside of us. Internalized, inculcated, running around, scared, laughing when it ain't funny, scratching when it don't itch, wearing the mask in order to make your way through the white mainstream and never able to see your face for who you are.
Right.
The great Paul Lawrence Dunbar, I know they have that poetry at this grand place. And I know my President Thomas and my Vice President, right? First one to tell me, oh, we read Paul Lawrence Dunbar, Brother West. I know you do. What did he say? We wear the mask. What did James Baldwin say? Love forces us to take off the mask. We know we cannot live within, but fear we cannot live without. And it's that fear that's been at the center of so much of the spiritual warfare against black people. Keep these black folks scared, intimidated, fearful, not willing to speak from their souls, not willing to be fundamentally who they are. That's precisely how you niggerize a dignified African people. Because when you niggerize the people, you make them feel as if they're forever locked into fear, forever locked into being intimidated, forever locked into being scared and running around terrified and never able to fully be themselves. But it has been in our music where we have been most free. Nina Simone, free. Aretha, free. Luther, free. Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan, we ain't even got to James Brown yet. Free. But that's a rhythmic and a lyrical freedom in place of an economic freedom, a social freedom, a political freedom. And let us never be deceived. Let us be very clear that the Black Freedom Movement has always been the leaven in the American democratic loaf. When the Black Freedom Movement gets weak and feeble, you can rest be assured the American democratic loaf gets stale. wouldn't have won the Civil War without 200,000 black men leaving the plantations and joining the Union Army to break the back of the Confederate Army. That's what the Emancipation Proclamation was of Abraham Lincoln. It wasn't a moral gesture, it was a military decision to allow these black men to join this army to break the back of the Confederate Army. So it was in the 1960s too, when we almost had another Civil War. And what happened? Here comes Fannie Lou Hamer, here comes Ella Baker, here comes Curtis Mayfield, here come all of these love warriors. Saying what? Saying that when the black freedom movement is strong, then in fact the possibilities of those Sly Stone called everyday people, those James Cleveland called ordinary people, can lift their voices. And anytime everyday people lift their voices, you can rest be assured they won't choose poverty. They won't choose lack of health care. They won't choose decrepit schools. They won't choose communities terrorized from the outside and the inside. Anytime you see folk suffering, you can rest be assured that their voices are not being heeded. Because nobody chooses to be terrorized and traumatized and impoverished. Now what does that have to do with what we hear tonight? Oh, it's got everything to do. Everything to do. Because there has been a spiritual war on young black people, intensifying over the decades to ensure that few of them have access to the best of their history. To ensure that the great ones, and by great I'm talking about service to the people, to the least of these, it ain't got nothing to do with the gangster in the White House talking about greatness. He's talking about Alexander the Great. He's talking about Napoleon. He's talking about Genghis Khan. Greatness is defined in terms of domination, conquest, manipulation, transaction. No, we come from a people whose definition of greatness is deep love. He or she will be greatest among you will be your servant. That's what my Bible says. And you can't serve without courage. You can't serve without love. And when, in fact, you get the bombardment of so many of our young folk, distracted, addicted, obsessed with pleasure. You say, well, Brother West, that's not just the young folk, that's the old folk too. You don't say. Young folk grow up imitating the folk they see. When I grew up, I saw Martin Luther King Jr. I saw Angela Davis. I saw James Lawson. I saw Gil Scott-Heron. I saw Curtis Mayfield. I saw the Shy singing, for God's sake, we got to give more power to the people. I listened to the Delphonics and the Dramatics and the Whispers and the main ingredient with that silky soul. They could raise their voices with such harmony that it would touch the depths of your soul. How many young black male groups do we have today that can sing with that level of delicacy?
Right.
It's gone for the most part. I know boys and men still out there doing anything, God bless them. I know New Edition out there just left Las Vegas, God bless them. Love you, Bobby, love you, Reginald, we love you. But push to the side. How come? Because a great people with courage and love and willingness to serve and live and even die for the least of these coming out of the 25th chapter of Matthew are also attentive people. Very attentive. What's the genius for making Georgia? Otis Redding saw, try a little tenderness. Even Bobby Brown, Babyface, writing the song. It's not just Roni, but it's Tenderoni. That's not just a song, y'all.
Talk about it.
No. When you talk to hate yourself and people come along and treat you with tenderness. That's what James Baldwin said with Malcolm X. He was the most tender man I ever met. Ooh, a lot of people wouldn't know that from the mainstream, and certainly the white media wouldn't say that. But he was a tender man. He was a gentle man. I grew up in Shiloh Baptist Church, and the Black Panther Party was right next door, and we working back and forth, back and forth. We didn't just talk about being tough and hard and harsh. We talked about being sweet. Because that's what soulfulness is. Soul ain't nothing but the sharing of a soothing sweetness against the backdrop of catastrophe. That's what Anita Baker does. Soulful. Erykah Badu from Dallas. Soulful. We ain't even got the Midnight Star in Atlanta. Star and others. A soulfulness is tender and sweet. And once you lose your tenderness and your sweetness, and you can't grin, you can't touch, you can't hug, you look at each other in a transactional way. What can you do for me? What I can do for you? Quid pro quo. Then you lose your love capacity. Even in relationships, become more lust-driven than love-centered. It's hard to be a long-distance love warrior and freedom fighter if you're not receiving a tenderness and a sweetness and a gentleness that sustains you day by day and week by week. And sometimes all it is just a memory of your grandmother's smile. Sometimes all it is just the hearing of an old song. We were listening in the car, some of those old songs. Listen to My Precious Love by Jerry Butler, who we just left. The Iceman. How come he's an Iceman? Not because his heart is cold, because he's so cool to generate the fire inside of your soul. He wrote that when he was 17 years old with his best friend. Sitting next to him, Curtis Mayfield. They grew up in the same church. You all know this, in Chicago. Curtis wrote, I'm so proud when he's 16, Gypsy Woman when he's 15. That's a genius we don't even have language for, but my point is this. Soulful. Hip-hop artists can be soulful. Tupac was soulful. Oh yeah, Rhapsody soulful. Kendrick Lamar. That brother's wrestling with his soul, isn't it? Oh, you listen to Damn, he started off with the weakness and the wretchedness, and is he gonna kill himself, and hollering in the hotel, and Kendrick got you at the top of my prayer list. Brother, love you to death, your genius undeniable, be honest about it, but you're also keeping it soulful, because to be soulful is to be what? Honest, candid, no posing, no posturing. So many folk these days just say anything, get by. Posing and posturing through life, don't say what they mean and mean what they say. Wait, you end up with superficiality.
Say it twice.
In your culture, in your politics, in your churches, in your mosques, in your synagogues, in your schools. You can't survive just on the surface, dog pedaling on the surface of the water. Get on down to the depths of the water. Take me to the water.